Kevin from Real Boring Flips, and I'm just sitting down after a nice sunny weekend here in Gig Harbor, Washington, and I'm going to enjoy an Oreo Coca-Cola, not a sponsor. And I thought I would do a new format where I just go over what sold over this week. And I'll try and do this every week just to update you this way. And I know I may have talked about some of these in other videos, but I'm going to do this format just on a weekly basis and kind of show you not only what did I sell, but a little bit about why I bought the items in the first place and any other little artifacts I can add to the video. So this will cover sales from September 23rd to 29th, so Monday through the Sunday. And the first one up was a this kind of vintage Looney Tunes denim backpack, and I bought this at my local Goodwill. I paid $10 for it, so a little more than I really wanted to, and there weren't any comps really to go by, but I thought it was pretty neat, and I thought someone would enjoy this, and I listed it at $29.88. And a person came in, asked a few questions about it, and then made an offer of $23, and I accepted that, and this is went out the door this week. So the next item up, this was kind of an odd, not my normal pickup. This came with some other stuff. It was kind of a neat Sony CyberShot, so a Sony Ericsson CyberShot camera / cell phone. Pretty neat little thing. I never used anything like this in the cell phones that I had early on, but it was kind of neat, and I wanted to try to make this useful again. I thought it would be a neat camera. My daughter was asking about if I had any just kind of older digital cameras that she could use. It's kind of a niche thing to have. And so I did end up, I think I bought a new battery for this, bought this charging cord, because I just had the camera itself, or the cell phone itself, and got the battery, got it charged, and the screen you would get would say insert SIM. So you couldn't do anything without a SIM card in there. So I gave up on that idea, and I just listed it for sale. And I had it listed at $50. I ended up taking an international order offer for $30. And I think this person, the person that bought it, they sell these things. So hopefully, even with all the extra charges just to get this sent to Australia, hopefully they're able to do something with it, because it was kind of a neat thing. So the next item up, I have several of these. I probably have, so 16 available. So these came from this large room that I bought that was full of electronics, and I paid $1,200 for this whole room, and I've probably sold $10,000 so far, plus much to go. But I had a whole bunch of these drives, brand new. They're just not worth much because they're modern drives, but low capacity drives. So I have these at pretty much low ball price, and I think this one actually went international as well. So the buyer paid the $12.88 for it, plus shipping. This game, I bought this at an estate sale. I think I paid $2. I think it was on half price day, or the last day, half price time. And so I paid $2 for it. It was sealed, and kind of had gotten into games for a little while, but I'm kind of trying to phase out of those, other than very specific high value vintage stuff. And this just randomly sold the other day for my asking of $9.88, and so that's gone out. So these three books came with a large lot of books that I bought at an estate sale. I'll never do that again. I basically bought the entire bookcase of books that this seller had. Way too many books. I have made a ton of money on them, but it's just so much hassle, so much weight to deal with. And as you can see, these are not, I'm not making a ton of money selling 3 books for $7.88 plus shipping. So I'm kind of getting to the end of that stack of books, and but these sold, and they're nice copies, and they went out this week. So this was an interesting sale. Now, I get these all the time, especially when I go to my free rummage sale that's down the street from me. It's it's donations. They call it a free rummage sale. And I kind of base my donations based on what I think I got and how much I got of stuff. But anytime I see handsets like this, especially with the chargers, I grab them. Nobody else is grabbing that stuff. And then I lot them out like this and sell them, handset and charger, or just handset if I don't have a charger. And I typically get $10 for these. And I had this one listed at $14.88 because it was for some reason the comps were higher. But I took a $5 offer. This gentleman had reached out to me and asked me about the shipping because they said they wanted the item, but the shipping was very high. And I couldn't understand that because I double checked all my, I do calculated shipping. I double checked all that. And I even made a modified listing so that I could even do even cheaper shipping. And it turns out this person was in Canada, so it was none of my shipping efforts were going to help. It just is international shipping through eBay. And so I explained the situation. I thought they were, that it was okay. They were just going to look for another option. And then they came back and offered me $5. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to take this. This person's been very respectful with me and very communicative, so I'll do $5. This essentially, maybe cost me 50 cents. So I was still going to make my money back. And I got the most amazing message back from this buyer. So if you're seeing this video, I'm thinking about you, praying for you, and enjoy the phone. I hope it brings you what you need. So thank you again. So this next item, I actually have 2 boxes of this, and I think I did talk about these in another video, but this roll of paper and I think I have another one just like this, plus 3 other rolls, all sealed. And these are the big, big rolls. I think they're 19-inch, yes, or 17-inch rolls, wide rolls. These all came with a Pro Canon inkjet printer that I bought a couple years ago at an estate sale. Didn't realize what I was getting myself into. Didn't realize how big of a printer this was. I'm not even sure how I would pack it to ship it if I could ship it. So I still have the printer, but I only paid $100 for it, and I got all this paper to go with it, plus just these rolls, plus a lot of other paper that was sealed sheets. So I've made back all of my money on my investment. I still have the printer and I still have the other rolls of paper, but I'm already in the black on this. And I took an offer for $63. I had it listed at basically $70, so I figured that was good enough. And then a couple of the other rolls are actually much higher priced or higher comped, so we'll see what happens with those. So this next item was a pressure cooker, and I almost didn't buy this. I was at my local Goodwill on $1.99 day, and I usually immediately run through the kitchen appliances like this. I look for juicers, blenders, bread makers, anything that you can get for $1.99. You're going to find some part on it that's worth probably $20. So in this case, I hadn't heard of this Cook's Essentials, but this was actually unused, and it just didn't have the box. And so I got it home. I did buy it, but I was surprised at the comps. The comps were actually pretty good, and my price that you see here, $59.88, was actually undercut all the other new open box listings. And so I thought I want to get this quick sale, get it out of here, and I made my listing. I printed off a copy of the manual, so anytime it's a pressure cooker, I always want the buyer to have the actual instructions, because there's some very important things you need to pay attention to when you're operating pressure cookers. So I did test it. There's actually a test they want you to do when you first get it. So I did that test. Everything was great. Really hard to pack, so I think I ended up putting this in a pretty large box. Forget the exact size of the box, but pretty big, pretty good sized box, and got this out the door too. So this cash register, I buy these whenever I find them, as long as I can get a good deal. This one also came from that free rummage sale last year, and didn't have a set of keys, but I had some keys that I had two other similar Casio cash registers. So I was able to test this, and it spit out an error. I forget the error, but it had an error. I don't know if it was related to printing or what it was, but I thought I'm just going to put this out there as parts. It did operate, so I thought maybe it was either repairable or usable in other fashion. Normally I would sell these for about $100 to $150 in working condition. So I priced this one at $40, and then I took an offer at $30 for this. So that went out. So this was an interesting buy. I was actually with my wife, and we were at Goodwill on $1.99 day. So I think it was the recent holiday, so we were both off. So we just went to Goodwill at 9 o'clock when they opened, got in, went right to the appliance aisle and got a few things. But I found this, and I probably have 5 or 6 of these. I've never sold one. They're all used in great condition, and I've just never sold one. I would see Flipping Junk talk about these things all the time, and I just never seem to be able to sell them. So, and normally I'm paying like $7 to $8 for them in used condition. Well, this one was brand new in the box. You can tell the box is a little beat up, but I paid $10 for this, and it sold almost immediately. I took this $50 offer like within a day of listing it, because I thought, I just want to get this one sold. I paid 10, I'll sell it for 50. That's not bad. I didn't want to wait and hang on or try to get a little better offer, because really it's hard to tell where you're going to sell these things, even even with it being in brand new condition. There's plenty of these out there. So I was happy with the $50 offer. So that went out this week. So this was the item I wish I could take back. I wish I never bought this. I think I paid $7 for this at my local Goodwill, and I thought it was neat. The box was really beat up and had duct tape on it on the bottom. But I thought it was one of those neat items, and when I comped it, I was seeing sales, but as you can see, I don't have a bulb, and I thought, oh, those will be easy to replace. Not easy to replace. And so I just had it out there listed. I was hoping to at least get my money back, and I ended up taking this $5 offer just to get rid of it. And then, as it turned out, the shipping was off, so I ended up paying extra for shipping. So I don't think I made any money. Well, I know I lost money. I don't even know if I made $5 selling this item. So wish I could take this one back. So when you're out there looking for stuff, keep in mind that comps are not always the best measure. I think, given the condition of this, I wouldn't have bought it today, just based on, I'm getting more picky about items I buy as far as condition goes. So this would not have been purchased by me today. So this item, it was kind of funny. I just recently listed this, but it came with a stack of a bunch of computer stuff I bought at some estate sale, and it was just one of the items that was thrown in with a bunch of stuff. And I kind of picked out stuff that I thought had value. Like one of the items, I talked about this before, was a sealed copy of Microsoft Windows 3.1 and DOS. And that sold crazy. It was like $130 or $150 international. And so, I probably spent $20 for the whole lot. And I've just sold and sold and sold. This was so beat up, but I thought someone might still want it, and it worked. And I showed that in my listing, and someone came along and bought it this week for $24.88. So that's gone out. So this is the last item. It actually just sold today, but this has been an ongoing issue. This actually, I got it right here in front of me. I haven't packed it yet. This item I bought a couple years ago with my wife at a barn sale, and these particular people, they were sellers, and I think they just got tired of being sellers, so they were just selling off all their stuff. And I found this car and another car, and I think I paid $5 for each of them. The other car I sold already for, I want to say $50 or $60. This one is actually really valuable, but you can see mine has some issues. It's missing one of the mirrors. This little back thing here is loose. This other mirror is loose, and it's got this horrible scratch down the front of it. But in good condition, this is like a $250 car. And so I almost didn't want to get rid of this. The gentleman sent me an offer, and you can see I had it listed for $69.88. He sent me an offer for I think $40 or $42, and I was like, at first I thought, oh, I should just take this. I've had this listed for a while, but I actually really liked this, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But I thought, I'm not going to sell this unless I get at least $55. So I countered at 55, and he immediately countered at like 46. And I really never do the back and forth. I give my counter, and that's my counter. So in this case, he countered at 46, and I just never even responded to the offer, and it expired. And then he sent another offer at 50, and I just let that one expire. And I was going to go, I actually went back last night. I was going to respond and say, hey, I'm going to hold out to my 55. So that one expired, and then he sent another offer this morning that was for 55, and he said, in his note, he said, thanks for being patient. So he came back up to my price, and so I did accept it. I felt like, hey, that was the offer I had the other day, and that was what I had told myself. But I have a lot of other Ferrari cars, newer ones, but this is, I mean, you would not believe how heavy this is. This is an amazing model. It's got, you can pop the bonnet, or however the Italians would call that, and then of course the engine in the back like any proper Italian car, and the doors open and stuff. But I don't own a Ferrari. I wouldn't be reselling and doing YouTube if I owned a Ferrari, but I have a real affinity for Ferraris, and I actually had the opportunity to be at the unveiling of in 2015, the unveiling of the 2016 488 Spider, and I'll show you a picture of that. So this was the car that I saw unveiled, and it was at a fancy Ferrari dinner, actually at the same house where they filmed 12 Years a Slave, the same plantation house, and it was in the back underneath a tarp, and it came time, and they came out and did their presentation. And I'll try to clip that in the video I have. But what was neat about this was, for a long time, you could find me in this video on Ferrari's website. I can't find that video anymore, so it's gone off the boards. But for a long time, you could just go there and find that video, and you'd see me in the crowd. So I have a real affinity for Ferraris. If you've never heard a Ferrari, it just has such an amazing sound. And I also have a picture here of me inside the car, but that was at the unveiling. So I wasn't actually driving it. I just got to sit in it for a second. But it was such a fun event, and it really gave me a real sense for how Ferraris attract people. So I'm not sure who bought this, but I'm hoping that they'll enjoy this as much as I have enjoyed Ferraris in my way. But that's all I have for this week. And so let me know if any of the items that I showed, if you have any experience with those or have any questions about those. And then also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that. And if you like this video, I'm going to try and do this format for my solds. And I'll try a different format maybe for what I'm buying throughout the week. My purchases are sporadic, so I may not have anything for a whole week and then a whole bunch of stuff at one time. So I might do those videos a little bit differently, but I thought it would be fun to do just a weekly what sold. and kind of make that my regular type of video for this channel. I like to at least talk about not only what I sold, but why I bought it in the first place, and then, like I said, any interesting little tidbits that go along with it, like this Ferrari picture. So thank you again, and please come and join me next week. Hey, so as I was packing up that Sony Ericsson cell phone camera, it dawned on me that because that has a lithium battery, you might not be aware of how to do your packing, your posting, and your packaging. So I just wanted to go over that real quick with this item, just so you see how I do this. And I know my, this is going USPS, but I know my local post office appreciates the way I do this. So it might be worth your time in checking out all the regs and what your post office expects when you ship any kind of electronics that has lithium batteries. Okay, so I've packed the camera inside this reused Amazon size 10 box. I've packed the camera itself inside this reused Amazon bubble mailer, and then I packed the charger inside this reused Amazon padded mailer, and I got a couple airbags in there as well. This is not going direct to Australia. This is going to eBay's center in Glendale Heights, Illinois. So I got to get it to Glendale. eBay takes it from there. So once I've got it in here, I've removed any old labels and any kind of identification markings from the previous use. And I'm going to put my label right over the top of this, so this won't look as bad as it does right now. I also have, like I've said before, I have my packing slipped so that I can do my final check to make sure I'm shipping the correct item to the correct buyer, and I have all of the pieces and parts. So I've done that, so that's my last thing. And obviously I print that out after I print out the shipping label, but I'm showing you in reverse here. So then when you're shipping lithium batteries, you have to identify these as hazardous when you're selecting your shipping label. Now I'll tell you a trick about that, but when you do this, as soon as you say yes, there's something hazardous, it forces you to use USPS ground. You can ship this stuff by FedEx or UPS. You just have to not say it's hazardous in eBay, but do the same kind of process, same labeling process, same identification, same packaging process. And there's all kinds of limits on what you can ship and how big of batteries you can ship and what you have to do depending on the size of the battery or if it's installed or not installed. So make sure you pay attention to those things. They can seem tricky. But in this case, for small things like this, cameras, iPhones, any of those devices that just have reused electronics, the post office has a very clear requirement on what they want. And so my local post office, I've dealt with many times on this, and they appreciate how I do this. So I print out the label, and you can see it's got the H on it for hazardous surface transportation only. And then on top of that, I just got these off the internet and then print them out, and then I cut out a little one. Now this UN 3481, this indicates that you have a small lithium battery installed in the device. So that's my situation here. So basically I'll just put my phone number in here, I'll cut this out, and I'll tape this on the front somewhere where it's visible when you're looking at the label. So in this small box, I have the label up here, I'll put the UN label down below. So that's the next step. We'll just take that off, fill that in, tape it on here, tape the rest of the box up, and we're good to go.
About 2 weeks ago in Frankfurt, Germany, the car was unveiled for the first time. So we were very lucky, and we were one of the very first countries to get an edition of the car. And you, for sure, are the first people in North America to see the car tonight. The car, the 488 Spider, is the continuation of our V8 open car version. It started in the 70s, as you may remember, with the 308 Targa, the GTS, which had a fixed top, a portion of the top that can be removed. Then in the 90s, we went to a full convertible again, which then let us get a little closer to what our F1 drivers are experiencing when they're driving a Ferrari, which is obviously pure, unfiltered sound from the engine and a true open-top experience. This car takes everything from the 488 Coupe, 670 horsepower, which is 100 horsepower more than the 488 Spider that it replaces, 560 pound-foot of torque. It's a beautiful car, and it's also one of our most aerodynamic. In fact, it's more aerodynamic than the 458 Speciale. Don't want to talk too much more about it. What I would really like to do, though, is invite the CEO, the president of Ferrari North America, Mr. Edwin Fenech, to come up and say a few words. Edwin? Welcome, welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, good night, good evening, and I hope that you enjoyed this evening. That's as much as I do, because maybe it took some time to come here, but I think that my guys made a great job. This is quite unique. I don't know, here it's full of history. We're in New Orleans. This mansion, I think, has been featured in one of the most blockbuster movie that was 12 Years a Slave. And we are here tonight in order to enjoy what New Orleans means. This is always what we want to do when we are all with you, is to offer always something special, a little surprise. But tonight we have another surprise. We have something that is made by us and for you, which is this very special car, and I think that I don't want to say stupid thing, but maybe you are the first one to see it. And but it's just between us. And to unveil this car also, I will need one of a very good friend of mine, but he's also one of the best driver ever. He's my coach, my personal coach. Can I have Mr. Marc Genet with me? Marc, please. Marc, apart being obviously F1 driver, is also in Italy is an icon because also he's someone that is very well known because he's not only one of the best driver ever, but he's also one of our best salesmen we got in the Ferrari. He's someone that is just great, supporting all the special project that we have, the XX project, the F1 Clienti, and he's someone that, when pilots, they are very good in driving, but sometimes interacting with pilots is very difficult because they live in their own world. This guy is a guy that really knows much more than I do. And I'm so happy to have him with me because he's part of our team. Tonight I want to tell you also we have another very important information tonight because racing is part of the DNA of Ferrari. Racing we were born as a racing team, as a Scuderia. And in US also we are trying to do our best. Formula One maybe in the US is not that popular, and we are trying to do something different. And I'm very proud to say that today we had a big event, the last race of the IMSA racing in Atlanta, in Petit Le Mans. And I'm very glad to say that we won the championship with the GTD, with Scuderia Italia, which is Mattioli team, and we won the championship as driver, as team, but also as manufacturer. And we are very proud of that. And what is very important to say is that we won this with a car that is the 458, and it is the last year of racing for this car, because next year we will come with the 488. And I think this is something that maybe only Ferrari can do, win the championship at the last year of the life cycle of a product. And I think that this means a lot to us. What we should do, Greg, now, what's next? A little video? We have a little before unveiling? Then please, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the video. Thank you.
Edwin, please.
One, two, three, let's go.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, please come up and take a look at the car. Thank you.